Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Premium DNA Battletoads ZITZ. This is the second one I'm reviewing. If you want to see Rash's review, it'll be right up there depending on what platform you're using. I don't think it'll work on TV or maybe iPhone. I don't know. If it's not there, it should be in the description. I'll put it in the description even if YouTube doesn't do it so you can see the other reviews. But this is the second one I'm reviewing. It's the last of the Toads. They haven't done Pimple yet. Unfortunately, that's my favorite. But this guy is another strong release. There's some problems with this one, but it's overall pretty good. So make sure you stick around to see what's going on. But let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. All right, before we look at the figure, let's take a quick look at my package. Same type of packaging as Rash. Very nice front. Do wish it had some light transmittance through the top. It doesn't, but still pretty darn good. You can see the figure and accessories. Very nice. Some sprites there. Don't perfectly line up with the figure, but pretty good. And these figures, I think they're kind of like a mixture of all the different versions of the Battletoads, whether it's arcade or SNES or whatever else. So there you have some more options there. And there you have the comparison thing, which I'll show you a quick one with these guys and this guy as we go. So yeah, nice packaging. And we're also going to be looking at the exclusive version of this guy. So I'll get his package out of the way right now. His is pretty cool. It has the Nintendo style cart. Oh yeah, they were on the regular NES too, not just SNES. So yeah, lots of versions of the Battletoads. But yeah, it has the sleeve that looks like the NES cartridge. And then the box that also looks like the NES cartridge. Artwork there, sides. There you go. And this one has the window on it, which is pretty cool, and it shows them here. Hopefully they have exclusive versions of these two guys to match this styling. But yeah, it's a nice one. It comes with a lot less stuff, so we'll talk about that. And I do want to mention the basic package, the standard releases package, does have a sleeve, but it's just a generic boring thing that I showed in the first video. The other review for Rash. Okay, so here he is. Here is ZITZ. I'll probably get the names wrong. I don't know why I always confuse these two since Pimple's the only one that really stands out. But whatever, I'll do my best. He stands roughly 15.5 centimeters, just about the same size as the other one. That's going to be about, and we'll call it 6 inches, give or take. Here he is up against Darwin. All right, so a little bit shorter, but that's okay. And here he is up against the other one. Are they brothers? I don't know their fiction at all. I just really liked the games as a kid. So here he is up against this one. They do remind me of the Ninja Turtles a lot. So there you go. They're about the same size, depending on how you have them post. So there he is. And we're going to bring out the exclusive version. Some kind of New Jersey toy convention thing. I don't know. Same figure, just different colors and accessories. Well, fewer accessories. So there he is. And then we're going to pull out the two big bads. This guy's a big one. There is General Slaughter. He's humongous. I'll be reviewing him too. And oh, there he is. Okay, I have these big figures too far away to conveniently pick up. And there he is. So this is definitely going to be a dynamic and fun collection to have if they continue it. Or even if they don't, as long as we get the third Toad, I'll be pretty happy. All right. Okay, so let's do a quick question of the day. How do you guys feel about the exclusive version? I want to do two questions. How do you feel about the exclusive version coming with fewer accessories? And which one is your favorite? Which of the Battletoads is your favorite? For me, it's always been the brown one, which is Pimple. But I don't know that that's a common thing. All right, so let's get into the aesthetic. I'll talk first about the exclusive edition. He only comes with this head, so I don't have that one on him. It's the accessory head. But otherwise, they are the same in terms of the main body. Looks good. Lighter green. Same kind of shading throughout. It looks really nice. It's well executed. So that's a good thing. And as far as his accessories go, he only gets the basic hands. The ones that look like these hands right here. None of the crazy hands. All right. So definitely a lot more sparse in that package. Now let's dive into this guy's aesthetic. Completely different sculpt from the other one. Not this one, but the other one, the other character, Rash. Whole different sculpt. I think that's very nice that they're doing that. They could have easily just done the same sculpt, and that would have been a cheap cop-out if you ask me. This one I don't think works quite as well. The other one had some articulation issues, but this one I think has a few more. Aesthetically, though, the paints are still nice and clean. The spots are very well done. No complaints there. The belt is good. The gloves and knee pads and things all have the two-tone. It's a very nice finish overall. I think his paint could be a little bit cleaner. It's not terrible, but it's not This eye's a little bit weird, a little bit googly, and even on his alternate head, it's not great. But I love the shading throughout the yellow that brings him to life. The mouth is nice and clean. The belt looks good. Generally speaking, these look really nice. I think this one looks just as good as the first one overall. You know, there's a couple of little nitpicks here and there, but it looks perfectly good. I'm very pleased with that. I'll go 8 out of 10 for the aesthetic. I went into the other one since it was the first one I went into a little bit more detail, so if you want to check that again, it's up there. This guy I'm not going to take quite as long, but it's still pretty solid. Like, the yellows are good. There's a little bit of scuffing going on here, but they're nice and opaque, and the colors are solid. Very, very pleased with that. And for those of you who love pinless joints, they have that. So, pretty good looking figure. We'll get into the articulation issues in a little bit. But now let's get into the accessories, because that's one of the strongest points for these figures. For the head, he's got the normal head, then he has the one with his open mouth. Very nicely done. Paints could be a little bit better around the eyes, but it's acceptable. For the hands, we have the 2 fist hands that come out in the package. Then we have 2 gripping hands and 2 style pose hands. I was wrong in saying the completely unique sculpts, the normal sized hands. I don't think the fists are the same, but the other ones, the open and the gripping hands, those are actually the same across both of the toads. And then we have the crazy accessories. I'll start with just the fist hand first. It's a giant fist with spikes, and we're gonna do like we did in the other video and actually try to swap them out and see how that goes. Because the other one, it kind of worked, and then it was like, okay, well, we're gonna need... Huh. Does it just slide over? No. How are we supposed to use this? Maybe it's supposed to just slide onto that? Oh, okay, I like that. You don't have to worry about the joint at all. I'm a little worried about the paint scratching, but that works. That's way better than the previous one so far. It fits perfectly. All right, I'm happy. Let's see if it scratches anything as we take it off. Maybe? I can't tell if that was already there. There's a little bit... It's hard to tell, so I guess that's a good thing. It's a very, very dark gunmetal. I think it looks okay. All right, cool. So that's number 1. Number 2, we get this big drill. Let's see how this one works. Oh, it looks like it's going to be the same thing. This guy might be a better batch of accessories because they all just swap on easily. So it takes a little bit of force, but they are PVC, so they'll flex. They're kind of like dog toy material, which is a good thing because it's nice and lightweight and cheaper to produce. But you throw some paint on it and it looks as good as anything else. So, I mean, it's probably a little stiffer than dog toy material, but okay, so that's good. That's 2 for 2 so far. I'm a happy camper. I like it. This is buttering my biscuit. Can't beat these accessories. All right, now this last one stands to be a problem because it does use the sockets for the hands, and that's where we came into a little bit of problem with the last figure, Rash. I think I'm getting their names right. All right, so his arms go forward like this, and here we go. First, I'll just show it to you. It's this giant thing. They have more effort in one accessory than a whole wave of Marvel Legends. The actual figures. Of course not the accessories. We don't get those. So this is pretty dang cool. All right, let's see if we can actually make it work. I'm thinking actually it will work because the pegs are going into these rather than the other way around, which was on the feet for the other guy. So I'm thinking this should just pop right in. All right, it's not just popping right in, but with a little bit of wiggling, it is going. So, can we actually get his arms together enough for this to work? Yeah. All right, there we go. I didn't get it quite on all the way, but you definitely can, just with a little bit of wiggling. So, if you are into accessories, this guy's the one so far. Not absolutely perfect for the alignment for the arms on this one, but definitely good enough. Okay, let's set that aside. Accessory-wise, 9 out of 10. I still don't like that the face paints aren't as good as they could be, but, I mean, these are still pretty darn good accessories. Alright, so far I'm happy with this release, but now we're going into the articulation where he does falter a little bit, and actually is better in a little bit. So let's see. Alright, for the neck, he doesn't look down as well. His head sits a little bit more proud. He can look up. He has slightly more range on that top peg. See, the head itself moves around, but the part that would actually replace the neck movement, he doesn't get his head down as far. So it's a little bit weird. You could just trim out a little bit. That's definitely do at your own risk sort of thing. I haven't tested it. But they used very small balls in the neck. Or in all of their balls, actually. They're a little bit small, and that's why you have limited range. It's not terrible, but it's not as good as the other one. He does get, it sits out a little bit farther, so you do get things like this if you want to rotate it really far, and a little bit more wobble, but it also has less range where it needs it, so not great for the head, but not terrible. Shoulders look like they might actually have better range. Let's see, full rotation, of course, and yeah, getting it up to horizontal is no problem on this guy, so he's got better range in the shoulder. I like that, which is actually a good thing because he uses hand-based accessories where the other one was mostly feet. Alright, so elbow gets a little bit less range. That's because of this right here. Not bad, you get about 90 degrees. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge, no problem there. Now the torso, same kind of gapping issue. Let's see what kind of range we have. Not a lot going back. Now you can lean it back and then tilt it forward, and that gets rid of that gap. So that'll help. And then going forward, not a lot of range. Yeah, it's still a pretty bad torso joint. It's not bad side to side, but his is also pretty loose, so be aware, it's not perfect. Definitely could be better. Floating belt is floaty and does hide these drop down legs. Now his look even better in the neutral. You can tuck them in pretty nicely, so that's good, but let's see what kind of range we get. Not bad. Yeah, as far as the drop downs go, they did a good job executing it. I still don't like the joint. I'd rather work around regular articulation and just make it work, but they did a good job with the drop down, so as far as that goes, it's okay. Plenty of range, no problem at all. No looseness other than the hinge itself could be tighter, but the socket is nice. And you do get your thigh swivel, so that's good. Soft knee pads are floating. Kind of range we get is basically the same as the other guy, so really nice range there. And then for his ankles, they go all the way back, all the way forward. The ankle rocker is a little bit tighter on this guy than the other one, so that's good. So yeah, not bad for the articulation again. It could be a little bit better in the neck. Definitely, and same thing for the torso, but the rest is solid. It does look like they just sit too high. Like, they definitely screwed up the torso joints, for sure, but it's not like a fatal flaw. So I'll give the articulation on this guy 7. I still don't like the torso and neck being the way they are. And I don't mind that there's limited range, because what are you going to do for the sculpt? It's just that what they did could have been done better, and it's giving you more range. Like, I can't bring it down any farther there. So, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's pretty solid, but I wanted to mention this because I talked about this in the other video. The hands, the pegs have two little notches or detents on them. Ribs, whatever you want to call it. And they like to just sit on that first one when you push them in. And that's like, it just feels like it stops there. Then you get a little bit of a gap going on. It looks like a Marvel Legends Hulk figure. Big, let me see if I can show you. It's black, so I don't know. You can kind of see, yeah, you can see how there's a big gap in there. I'm pretty sure if you push hard enough, it goes all the way in. I'm not going to say that either. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. So the first time I tried it, didn't want to go. So it just took a little bit of force, and then you get into that second detent, and the hands have less of a gap and look better. So that's good. All right, so time for the final verdict on this guy. In some ways, not quite as good as the first one, but in other ways, better. Definitely the accessories. And his articulation might be a little bit better in some places and worse in others. So I think it's probably going to average out down to, or up to, however you want to look at it. I'm going to say 8 out of 10. It's not a perfect release, and they are expensive, but those accessories go a long way to making me happy. And the figures are definitely good enough that I'm happy I paid for them. If you're not happy you bought something, that's kind of a problem when it comes to collecting, but I like it. Not perfect, they have room for improvement, but so far I am very satisfied. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and we'll talk. But otherwise, that's it for me, from me. That's it from me for today. English is hard. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, guys, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.